Hey there. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 tasks that virtual assistants can do beyond admin work. In other words, how you can use virtual assistants, aka offshore talent, to move the needle and bring you new business. So let's dive in. First of all, quick intro. I'm Diane Prince. I built and sold a staffing agency that I sold for $28 million to a public company. Now I staff offshore virtual assistants, virtual talent, placing them into small businesses, especially staffing and recruiting agencies. Also, we work with other small businesses. So that is what I do. And I set out to crack the code on how to work best with offshore talent to compete with giant companies. So I've got you. If you are a small business or a solopreneur, I've got you. I'm going to show you how to do it and how to use a virtual team, which does not mean that these are not people. These are people. They do use AI, but how to use an offshore team to get results at a fraction of the price of hiring in the US. So we're going to talk about in this video 10 tasks you may not have thought of that you can leverage virtual assistants to do to grow your business. So let's go. This is this is probably one of the most popular things is lead generation and list building. If you are anywhere on the internet ever, especially LinkedIn, you're probably getting you're probably getting bombarded with lead gen companies, okay? Virtual assistants can also do lead gen, and it's important just as any role is getting the right person. So our VAs can do lead gen. Your VAs, if you find people on Fiverr or whatever, you can get people to do lead gen without spending thousands of dollars on some of these companies that claim pretty unrealistic results. One thing I would say to you is if you are considering using a lead gen company, always ask for references. Get those references before you engage in anyone, especially if it's thousands of dollars and anything, any kind of commitment to a contract. Okay, so number one, virtual assistants can help you with lead generation, and list building. Okay, let's go to number two. Virtual assistants can also help with CRM updates and segmentation. Okay, this is important because, especially, I don't know if you're like me, but as in this iteration of my business, I'm a solo entrepreneur, and then I've added my team. It was all offshore, and to things like that, like I'm a visionary. I like to make videos. I like to talk to clients. Things like the details of like segmentation in a CRM that can make a huge difference, which basically means segmenting out like what kind of prospects might need what kind of services so that you can customize your outreach to them. Things like that I do not have the attention to detail to do. That's the second example of things that a virtual assistant can do to help you move the needle and actually get an ROI. So if you're thinking, oh, I would love to get a team, but I don't have, I just have to close this contract. I just have to do this. Remember, virtual teams can be used to get that sale, to get that contract. It's not just about taking things off of your plate. However, when you are using people to take things off of your plate, remember, it's only effective if you're actually then going to take on those high volume tasks. Okay, so we talked about number one was lead generation and list building. Number two, CRM updates and segmentation. Number three, this is one of the things that my virtual assistants help me out with is cold outreach via email, which I used to do all the time. They can set up email warming for you. They can set up there's things that are like supposedly easy, but they take a lot of time, like how to set up your emails so that they get warmed up so you don't go into spam. And virtual assistants can be leveraged to do your cold outreach either on email or also on LinkedIn. And then they should be trained if you're hiring a virtual assistant who's up to speed, they should be also trained on all of the AI tools and the tools that are out there, not all of them, but make recommendations and help you to set up tools to get your cold outreach going. Okay, so that's number 3. Okay, let's talk about number 4. This is one of my favorite ones, content repurposing for business development. So I make a lot of videos like this. I use this on my YouTube channel. Obviously, you're probably watching, by the way. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I make a lot of content. And so my virtual assistants now are using AI tools to repurpose that content. So making it into YouTube shorts, which if you take a look at my YouTube shorts, those are doing really well. And so that's what my virtual assistants do. So and by the way, they also, we're going to talk about this a little bit, they also give me a run sheet. So they tell me exactly what videos I need to make every Monday. And that's what I'm doing today. So let's go back to content repurposing for biz dev, using tools so that you can multiply your outreach. Maybe you're on LinkedIn, maybe you're on YouTube, maybe TikTok. Virtual assistants can help you to repurpose the content because you probably have already a ton of content out there. All right. 5th thing that virtual assistants can do to help you move the needle. Okay, this is especially if you are in recruiting or staffing, job posting and tracking. Okay, so that is kind of a pain to get all your jobs posted. And this is also helpful. This is an admin task, but this is helpful if you're not in recruiting to recruit, because my virtual assistants, and this is how I started building the team, my virtual assistants recruit other virtual assistants for me. Okay, so job posting and tracking, not even to mention helping you write job descriptions. Okay, so we talked about lead generation and list building. We talked about CRM updates and segmentation. We talked about cold outreach on email and LinkedIn. We talked about content repurposing for biz dev, job posting and tracking. Next, also, this is if you're in staffing and recruiting, candidate sourcing. Virtual assistants can source candidates for you. And also, if you're not in staffing, virtual assistants can do other things for you that you can actually white label or upcharge and offer to your clients. Okay, so virtual assistants can even do done for you services that you can package and sell to your clients, okay, such as candidate sourcing. We do have some clients who use our virtual assistants, not just for sourcing for their own recs, for their own roles. What that means, what recs means is for recruiters for their own roles that they're working to place, but they also will use our sourcers to source for their clients, to package that up, to make that a white label offering. If you don't know what white label, it means, like, say you're a consultant or a coach like I am, and you are telling people, you're giving people a method, like maybe it's a marketing method, then you could actually have access to virtual assistants who are doing that work, and your clients just see the virtual assistants as part of your team. So we do that too. So let me know if you're interested in that. Okay. And then number 7 is calendar management for sales calls. Okay. So this goes beyond admin. We're actually making sure, because I used to have, like, I'd realize that I had things stuck in my inbox. I'd realize that I had prospects that reached out to me. I have a bunch of different places, like the online communities, LinkedIn, Instagram, all different places where people message me. So that calendar management for sales calls is so important. Another thing that my virtual assistants do is they check my calendar the week before, and they make sure that anybody who has not accepted the calendar invitation gets an email saying, hey, we noticed you haven't accepted your calendar invitation. Okay, that really reduces no-shows drastically. Okay, so calendar management is super helpful to make sure, because the more likely you are, however, the sooner that you respond to your prospects, you're much more likely to close them. So even having a virtual assistant just doing that will probably move the needle for you. Okay, so calendar management for sales calls, making sure that your prospects know that they have a call, making sure that they show up as much as they can, as much as is in your virtual assistant's control, really reduces no-shows drastically. Okay, and gets clients on calls way quicker than if you're trying to manage it all yourself. Okay, and then number 8 is prospect research. Okay, so like for me, when I'm about to talk to a prospect, my virtual assistants have already like given me a quick synopsis. I know what we're going to talk about, what's going to happen. So your virtual assistants can actually research. If you're a recruiter, for example, and you're talking to a prospect, the virtual assistants can actually get you some background information on that person. What have they been talking about online? What are their current roles? Okay, that's going to save you a ton of time and also make you really prepared so that you can be impressive, showing that you know your prospects' needs. Okay, number 9, this is one of my favorite things, is marketing. Okay, so my virtual assistants give me a run sheet every Monday and every Friday, telling me what I need to do for my marketing activities. Okay, so if you ever create content, you may have before thought like, oh, what am I going to talk about today? Okay, I know because my virtual assistants give me a run sheet every Monday, tell me record these videos, talk about these points. Okay, so talk about these 10 things that virtual assistants can do as an example for today's video. And then on Fridays, I get another run sheet that my virtual assistant puts together that tells me all of the content that I need to review. Another thing that my virtual assistant does with as far as marketing goes is they're going to take this post, they're going to take this LinkedIn post, they're going to send it to another one of our virtual assistants, have them tag it for SEO so that people find it in YouTube. Then they're going to take it and they're going to turn it into a blog, and then they're going to post it on my website so that we get more incoming traffic to my website. And then they're also going to create a LinkedIn post around this video to post on LinkedIn. It works really well. We're getting now about 5 incoming leads every single day based on this. Okay, so virtual assistants do not look at them as a cost, look at them as an investment to grow your business. Finally, number 10, okay, and then we'll recap everyone. Okay, follow-up campaigns for re-engagement. Oh my gosh, so the nurturing is such an important part of sales. Keeping in touch with your prospects shows them, not only keeps you top of mind, but also shows them how you're going to be when you're working together. You're going to be responsible. You're not going to just go off and, fade away. You're going to be consistent. You're going to be reliable. So follow-up campaigns for re-engagement are so important. My virtual assistants helped me to create my email newsletter, which is, that was like, it just complicated pieces. Like I was overwhelmed by that forever. And now we actually they tell me when I need to write more emails for our Friday normal email newsletter. They'll tell me, hey, we need email 60 to 65. If you're on my email list, you start getting my emails like email 1, email 2, based on when you join the list. And my team put that system all together for me. And now we have a second email. They put that together. And then they also track who opens our emails, and then they contact them. So they might say, hey, I noticed that you downloaded our prospect tracker from the last Tactical Tuesday email. Tell me more about what you need help with, or things like that. So it really helps with the conversation. So that's another needle moving task, not an admin task, but a sales task that my virtual assistant team does, is they check my emails, who clicked, they contact the people who clicked. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap. Number 1, of revenue driving activities that virtual talent can do: lead generation and list building is number 1. Number 2, CRM updates and segmentation. Number 3, cold outreach. Number 4, content repurposing. Number 5, job posting. Number 6, candidate sourcing. Number 7, calendar management for sales calls to make sure that your prospects are getting on calls with you. Do not let that slip through the cracks. Probably just one. If there is one client that you get because they don't slip through the cracks, can probably be an entire cost of an entire team. At least I know with my agency how we charge would be, you could have an entire team for an entire year for probably what that placement fee would be. One of my clients, for example, she uses our team for candidate sourcing. Our sourcer found her candidate. She got a $37,000 placement fee on that. Okay, and a full team is less than that for an entire year. Okay, so the jixt. Oh, did I say everything? I think so. I'm not sure. But anyway, so remember, if you're looking at growing and you're thinking about hiring, consider hiring an offshore team. With my team, I actually train them as well. They have access to me for strategic guidance. So think about where you want to go, what the vision is in your business, and then how can you clearly articulate your vision so that other people can help you get there. So I'm Diane Prince. I'm obsessed with working with offshore talent. There are so many incredible people in different parts of the world, giving them opportunities, which they are typically so grateful for, and then also giving them real opportunities to move the needle and grow and help small businesses grow. So I want to help you grow. So let me know in the comments any questions you have. Also, I'd love to hear from you. What else could virtual talent do for you? What are you curious about if they can do for you? Put notes in the comments on what virtual assistants have done for you or what you wish that they could do for you. Okay, so I'm Diane Prince. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know if you need us to set you up with your own virtual team at a fraction of the cost of hiring in the US.